Gentlemen and ladies, my name is Chaz, and welcome to the What If Zuko Was This Man Right Here. Yeah. I was gonna name it What If Zuko had a pawpaw fruit. So, yeah. So, so I just woke up a little bit, so sorry about that. I had to use the bathroom, so yes, he is also immortal, so so I'm also throwing in Zumi, if I could find her. Yeah, add her real quick. Now, so I'm throwing Zumi in here, so that so, plus, now let's begin with them being born, and Zuko was born as the same thing, like what he was in the anime, and then, of course, he has a power. Sure, he has ability and like superpowers and like quirks inside of his body, or like inside of his own soul. So it doesn't matter how many times that if someone tries to takes away tries to take away his quirk, it would be like, yeah. So Zuko and Zumi were born. They both went to the school, or no, actually, yeah, from age of 3, and yeah, so until they went to age of 4. So, and reason why before, like in the intro, this guy, that's a hint. So, of what will happen next. So, after age of 4, or like at age of 4, they go to a quirk doctor. Where is he? Right here. They go to a quirk doctor. So the quirk doctor tells Zumi that she has a fire manipulation quirk. And then Zumi's all excited and like, yay! I can become a pro hero. And then the quirk doctor tells Zuko that you can become a hero, and so So Inko and the Sashi spend more time with Zumi. Hey? And yeah, Zuko is the most powerful soul. So yeah. And he's immortal from... So... But one day, the Quark Doctor decided to kidnap Zuko. So he did. And turned him into a big guy with thousands of millions of trillions of quirks put into his body. And surprisingly, his skin was not turning like black as the Nomu's, but it turns into brown as the Quark Doctor had a little project going. Yeah. So he was prepared before he yeah. So on Zuko's hands, like on his like hands thing, there's these like palms or like paws. If you guys don't know what I'm saying, here, let me show you real quick. So this pawpaw fruit one on his hands. Okay, so basically, yeah, Zuko was pretty strong. Man, like his size got, like he went from a little guy, like small, to being a giant size person. Like, he looks like, yeah, he is like that size. He is bigger than a normal human. Yeah. Because his body's been modified with many powers. Like, he can... And basically, yeah. Of course, Zumi, time skip to 15. As he was perfect. No length. So, his soul is still in his body. So, he can't, and, so, yeah. So his sister, Zumi, is 15. So, I'm not gonna bore ya with like, oh, they go, or she goes to the UA. Yeah, well, let me tell you, he had 3 projects, or the Quark Doctor had 3 projects going. At different times. So they needed was a person to be a big guy. They needed was his blood. He or her blood to create 2 other entities. Her and him. Yes. And that's all my inkling is thinking about who should he give one for all to. And yeah. But he still tries to hold out on until a right suitor comes. So as a USJ, or he did train his, or Zuko did train his body, like, until he really gets out of the control thing. AKA, the one that was inside was actually not his real body. It was it's like he has 49 bodies. Yeah. So, yeah. So, they go do so now USJ, but instead of using the Nomu, they used Zuko. No. As a big guy comes out of nowhere. As he, was reading a book. Like how he always do in the anime. So, they're like, and Class 1A is like, what is that? Or like Froggy was like, who is that? Sorry, I can't do her voice properly, so yeah. So most of the Eraserhead turns around and he sees villains. As he goes as Zuko was there. So Zumi, he didn't know that it was her brother. So the hand over his face says, "Alright, it looks like playtime is over." Because 1 hour in, and as the hander says, tells him that, okay, project ready to show your true power. As Zuko, or show your power. Now, show it. As he used that. And yeah, that one, as because the villains failed, Zuko used that as he destroyed the entire USJ completely. It created a crater in, yeah, like the hole in the ground. But lucky for the students, Zuko used his own power from his soul to teleport all of them away, including Mr. Aizawa and 13, before her. But the villains that were like spawners, like footmen that we don't care about, they're like high-end villains. They all just got wiped out. As All Might could feel the shockwave from it. Yeah. As Zuko says, or as it was done, he did teleport them, or teleport the students far away from it, because that blast would definitely probably killed them. As the Handler chase is not very happy with, "You idiot, you almost tried to kill me," as yeah, Zuko was basically, as the pro heroes comes and they got teleports both of them away, and then this project almost tried to kill me in the process, as All for One says, he's new at it, so let his power settle in, because he convert all the air things. Yeah. So the villains, like high-end villains, were destroyed, like obliterated. As, yeah. So then, of course, everyone, like all the students woke up. Like they said, "Ow, my head." Ugh. And yeah. So, yeah. Zuko, who didn't mean to do that, but he, like, got commanded to. So, yeah. So then, at the villain's base, is he sat down, reads the book, because those three were completed, like, done with. So she this she decides to go up to him and, like, climbed onto his back and tells him that he needs to, like, hang around with us. as he looks over, as he says, "Name, what do you mean by us?" She means me and her and you should hang out. Because it's, yeah, because they all have Zuko's alternate personalities. And they all usually try to think of the same thing. They all wanted to, because I think this is going to be a hilarious part. Because usually clones have the original person's memories. Things and like thoughts on, but they both are part of Zuko's. So basically, they both, well, like both of them are cloned from Zuko, but they respect the original compared to Twice. I feel bad for that man. And because he gets his clones, or like when he owned himself, he gets a cut on the forehead, but not on Zuko. And the obedience chip thing was on top of, or on behind their neck. So, in order to like remove them, he has to like. But there is one secret technique. But it's too early. So, yeah. So he waits. And then So, I'm not going to bore you, but the meeting at after USJ, these teachers had their conference. They tell him, or they were like discussing what has happened, as Mr. Aizawa had a flashback to the big buff guy. Sorry about that. Yeah. So, yeah. So then the do you see any like he didn't even take off his gloves. As that must be part of his quirk. As Zuko, or as they were like, if if the guy that has this much power and he's a villain, we're looking at a world of hurt. Oh, like basically, a like strong person that can redirect like air blast to as the like there was a giant dent in like in Mr. Zawa's as he was like got some wind knocked out of him, as Nezu tells Mr. Ozawa to remove his shirt to see what. As he takes off his shirt or lifts it up, as they see a giant paw, like, yeah. So, well, yeah. Has everyone like confused of why there's a giant paw on Mr. Ozawa's, as he tells them that that but I forgot to mention, I also added a new person to it. Her. So she ended up, she, well, at age of 3, she loves Zuko. Because she's also a mortal. Mortal. Like, she can never die, she can, or she has the powers of, like, the same thing in her soul, too. So, it would be quite hilarious for someone, or for two souls to make love thing. Yeah. So, yeah. So let's continue. So, after the meeting, Almain decided to think on who should he give a court to. Because he knows there's two contenders for it. Zumi, Mirio, and Bakugo. But the new guy, that they didn't say his name, is also probably qualified for it. So yeah. And yeah. So basically, Zumi is still trying to think of who is this man and why he. As she's getting confused, as she tries thinking of who he is, because he felt so familiar. As she bangs her head on a wall harder and harder, as she's trying to think, and as a class 1B student, and one of them walked past, and or as she's like, why can't as, let's say it was Big Hands Girl, as yeah, so she, like, Zumi, what's wrong? Can't think of, that guy's name, or that guy, though, one a, that was a villain and at USJ before the explosion. I can't remember him. as she's trying to think on yeah, and her power is also regeneration, so she can bruise all she wants without any. Yeah, so if he were there, as she says, if you were there, or of course, Zumi says, if you were there, you would know which person I'm talking about. It was the. Can you draw a picture what he looks like? Or as a human Pikachu comes out of the room too. I know which one you are talking about. That guy that wears a big black like shirt, right? With gloves. Yeah, that guy. I don't. His aura feels familiar. I don't know why. It's it's like I know him from somewhere. As she's trying to bang on her head again, and as they know that they stopped her from like bruising herself too much, and they Class A tells Ozumi that don't think too hard. And yeah, so back at the villain's base, yes, the of course she's always been so cheerful. Oh, so yeah, now a time skip to about. I'm skipping the sports festival, the skipping the internship thing. But the camp park, her, are actually during the mall arc. Zuko wants to go out, but they know that they don't really saw whose face, so he goes into a mall. As he sits down, he looks around. He tries to think. Or actually, instead of him, it was the clone. Avoid the little bit of his suspicions. So she goes into a mall by herself. Her like girly girl senses kick in. Like she wants to like go shopping, but she has no money. And they just spend it on. Yeah. But she goes and sees, or she goes, takes a breather from being with her clone, or no, being with the other clone and the original that she's cloned from. She realized that she is a clone too. So, yeah. But she's happy to be with cloned from someone that actually knows how to do stuff. It's very destructive, but other than that, it's the. And don't ask me how they used Zuko's DNA to get turned into a girl. Yeah, or make a clone of a girl. So, yeah. She goes, like, window shopping, like, looks around. And of course, she runs into Zumi. Eh? Eh? And of course, she knew that, recognized her from like a sports terrestrial thing. You actually did pretty good, Zumi. The the oh, thanks. Thing. And all that compliments thing. So he goes. Of course, she goes, walks away. And the afterwards. So then, of course, Zumi was hanging around with her a lot. So, yeah. The reason why I'm choosing this is censored one compared to uncensored one that I did by using, yeah, this one. Yeah. So, basically, yeah. So, after she was done, she went back. And she's, like, happy to see somebody from Zumi, or from Zuku's memories. Because, let me remind you, Zuku's memories have been also copied. So basically, and put into the hers and her, or him. Sorry. Yeah. So, and of course, she hangs out with Zumi more. So then, now the Can Park, it does the same thing in canon, but much clearer. Or they sent Zuko out to get things smooth. Of course, Musclear was trying to kill Coda as he steps in, as he tells Musclear that we need to stick to the plan, and there's far more tougher guys than that kid, and you just try to go for a week. It doesn't make you strong. It makes you weak. As Musclear is it says, "You're not a boss," or bam, as he gets knocked out by one punch from Zuko. Yeah, nosebleeds. Yeah, as he says, "Huh, now." And as he basically picks him up, puts him on his shoulder, as he walks down the steps. As Coda realized this guy isn't human. as he says, "What are you?" "Me? I'm just your neighborhood friendly name." As he tells him his name is Zuko. As he says this, "My name is Zuko. And you are?" "Coda." Huh. Yeah. So then he goes to the UA, or he drops him off. No? As he goes to check on Dobby. Nee? As Dobby looks at him, says, "Huh. No." And the, of course, Muscular was still knocked unconscious as he brought, like, of course, Muscular's body was brought to Mr. Ozawa. As he looks at him, tells him that for our intrusion, an eye for an eye. Okay? Here we go. Okay? We'll take one of your men, and you will have one of ours. Okay? Yeah. As makes things fair. After all, usually the villains don't have like simple traits. I mean, so as the one of the pussycats says, "Is this a guy that gave you that paw on your stomach?" "Yep." As the most of them go, yeah. So yeah, as he looks over and then go check on Toga to see, because yeah. So he walks over to Toga, as he sees her about to try to stab Ochako and the Frog Girl. As he steps in, as Toga says, "What the heck, man? Did you forget the plan? And we need only 2 people. Well, not try to kill the rest. Okay? And you already have a friend that..." Yeah. So, yeah. Basically, yeah, Zuko is so serious. It was so serious that Toga's entire face went from this to being this. Like, no fun. Okay? So, as Todoroki and Bakugo as Zuko uses his own version of lightning, because he made it so bright that even Dark Shadow was knocked out. As Mr. Compress was with him. Winning him, Todoroki, and Bakugo. As Bakugo, Todoroki were like, they both like got 1 and then 3. And Zuko, who caught all 3 of them. As Mr. Compress uses his as everyone was like, as every like pro hero or like the students tried to save their comrades, but the dark, deep voice says, "No, it's been 5 minutes since you ambushed them. Now, you have to return. But before, Zuko, please use that cannon move." As Zumi realized, it was her brother, and she wants to just run up to him and hug him. And Zuko, who used his power thing, this, to create a spear enough to like, as they did not realize, so Zuko was basically gonna destroy the as everybody runs for the like pass. Boom. Why didn't he recognize me? As he starts to, or as she starts to cry, Zumi starts to cry. Because she knows that her brother would never actually do that to her. As Mr. Ozawa says the people change as the or one of the pussycats tells them, no, actually he got forced to become a villain, and the body that you saw wasn't human at all. It was whoever did it to them, they need to pay for what he has become. As Mr. Ozawa says, what do you mean? Well, when I was inside of his head, the Zuko who always wanted to become a hero, but then the Quark Doctor told him that he couldn't become a hero, right, Zumi? Yeah. As the Zuko who wasn't actually quirkless, actually. As everyone says, wait, so what do you mean, not quirkless? He had a quirk, or like infused into his soul, basically like into his very being of his own. So the quirk's name is elemental manipulation. But he just doesn't have, or he has multiple quirks that were given to him by All for One. But there's one thing. Zuko had no interest in becoming a villain at all, actually. So is there a chance for him to become a pro hero? Yes. We'll use that as advantage. But his thought thing, he told me that in order to do that, we have to remove a chip from behind his neck. That hey? It's not going to be easy because they're probably going to command him to kill us. Oh, I don't think that it's going to be an issue. Yeah, so the three people, and then of course, all that stuff, happens, and she was smiling at Bakugo's, or actually Todoroki's unconscious body, because how cute he is. Yeah. So basically, yeah. So then the Pro Heroes comes out of nowhere and tries to kill. Or actually, they put surrounding him, and as Woodsman and or actually String Guy was wrapped around Zuko's like neck, tried to suffocate him, but he had no lungs to breathe, so yeah. So then his two clones was actually with him as they put their hands onto his neck as the chip thing and got removed, in secret, as he feels much better, as he does it to them too. So now there are three aim. So when Woodsman when Woodsman when Woodsman like got to like wrap around his entire body, he actually did one thing. He crushed all three of their control chips things that controlled them. And yeah, they in secret they know that, but they had or actually Zuko placed a mind blocker on both of these two so that the only certain people can hear them talk. And so Zuko tells them that if we make this out of alive, how do you feel about becoming my kids? As she says, that would be cool. Yeah. In their heads. Telepathically telling each other that's cool. Yeah. So basically, yeah. So Zuko, it was finally time for, I'll do it in the next part. So please leave a like, share, subscribe, comment, do all the fun things, and please wait for part 2.